What up? What up? What up? Hey, this round two of straight talk with your boy Ant. Last week we did some good numbers, so hey, we're gonna run it on back again tonight. Today topic, man, gentrification here in the city of Detroit. We all see it, been seeing it. We see how certain areas of the city is being built up, and then we see a lot of the city that's not. It feels like some areas are being neglected, while other areas are being turned into prominent areas. What is gentrification? About to bring this up to you, man. This is gentrification, as y'all can see on the screen, the process whereby the character of a poor urban area is changed by wealthier people moving in, improving housing, and attracting new businesses, typically displacing current inhabitants in the process. So, what does that really mean? Going into urban areas, the African American area, and pretty much making it to where we can't afford to live there anymore. Property value goes down. We really can't make anything off our homes. And boom, we end up pretty much being bought out. It's a sad situation, but hey, that's just the world that we live in. You look at downtown Detroit right now, man. You look at the stadiums, you look at the casinos, you look at other businesses that's thriving. But when you go into the hood, what do you really see? You don't really see much of anything except for in certain areas, like the Boston Edison area over there off 6 Mile and Livernois. That's coming back up. Then you have the East English Village area, which is on the border of Grosse Pointe and different suburban neighborhoods. But what's so bold about the whole thing is, man, it makes us feel like we're left out, so to speak, when everything and everybody around us is thriving except for the neighborhoods, man. We see more gas stations, we see more liquor stores, we see all of that in our area. But when you go to these other areas, you don't see any of that. And I know we saw and remember Boys in the Hood when Furious took Trey and to the I think it was to Compton. Him and Rick scared out their mind. But I'm gonna show you the video of what I'm talking about. Way back in the day, this is like 1991 when this particular movie came out, Boys in the Hood. Check it out.
About the ship?
Tell them not to worry about the interest rate. The interest rate hasn't moved 2% in 5 years.
Furious
Okay.
Styles
Talk to you
Finance.
later. So, how you guys think you did on the test?
All right, I guess.
Most of those tests are culturally biased to begin with. The only part that's universal is the math. You boys must be hungry. I'm real surprised to see you down here.
Came to see you. See how you doing. How's business going?
Well, there's always business. Just not always in here.
So, like, what do you do, Furious? I mean, what, you help people get money for their homes or what?
Well, there is no or what. That's what I do, Rick. You boys want to see something?
Do we have a choice?
No.
Back in the motherfucking house, kicking a straight gate and shit with a 9-point, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, growing up in the hood, yeah, boy, 1984, with the key of my peace, didn't know what's in store. A little hard shit came, my bass trying to pay my dues, learning to switch up the trade, and at home, the same ass story. Mom treated me like she don't even know me, but my younger brothers got much clout.
know about all this, Furious. Guys walking around motherfucking Compton and all, man.
Rick, it's the 90s. Can't afford to be afraid of our own people anymore, man. Would you two knuckleheads come on? Why don't y'all take a look at that sign up there? See what it says? Cash for your home? You know what that is?
Billboard.
What are y'all, Amos and Andy? Are you stepping and he's fetching? I'm talking about the message, what it stands for. It's called gentrification. It's what happens when the property value of a certain area is brought down. Huh? You listening?
Yeah.
They bring the property value down. They can buy the land at a lower price. Then they move all the people out, raise the property value, and sell it at a profit. Now what we need to do is we need to keep everything in our neighborhood, everything, black. Black owned with black money. Just like the Jews, the Italians, the Mexicans, and the Koreans do.
Ain't nobody from outside bringing down the property value. It's these folk shooting each other and selling that crack rock and shit.
Well, how you think the crack rock gets into the country? We don't own any planes. We don't own no ships. But we are not the people who are flying and floating that shit in here. I know every time you turn on the TV, that's what you see. Black people selling the rock, pushing the rock, pushing the rock. Yeah, I know. But that wasn't a problem as long as it was here. It wasn't a problem until it was in Iowa and it showed up on Wall Street where there are hardly any black people. Now, if you want to talk about guns, why is it that there's a gun shop on almost every corner in this community?
Why?
Tell you why. For the same reason that there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the black community. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that shit. But they want us to kill ourselves. Yeah, the best way you can destroy a people, you take away their ability to reproduce themselves.
Yeah.
Who is it that's dying out here on these streets every night? Y'all.
Yeah.
Young brothers like yourselves.
What am I supposed to do? Fool roll up, try to smoke me? I'll shoot the motherfucker if he don't kill me first.
You're doing exactly what they want you to do. You have to think, young brother, about your future. Huh?
If y'all heard that, Furious is absolutely right, man. It's like we have to begin to support our own. It's like we have to learn how to promote each other. But one thing in the black community that really bugs me is too much haterism going on, though. One man can buy up a whole block. Other people out there who's not able to do it or who's just too lazy to do it end up breaking into old dude's stuff, tearing it up. That's why a lot of people are leaving these areas also. Even though gentrification can help certain areas, even when we see it being done, we have to take the initiative to stand up and change the narrative that's around us. The name of the game these days for anybody is buying up this land that's here in Detroit, man. My ultimate goal, even when I was younger, I used to always tell my grandmother, I want to hurry up and buy me a house. You know, my brothers, they always said, hey, man, you get into the housing market. That's equity. That's long-term money for you if you do it right. You know, but now in the city, it's like outside investors can come in during these different property auctions, buy up 200-300 pieces of land and do absolutely nothing with them. But what they end up trying to do is they sit on this land thinking that somebody's going to buy it. Now, you done bought these, let's say, vacant lots for $100 a piece. You sit on it 10, 15, 20 years thinking somebody is going to buy it from you for $10,000, $20,000. At this point, it's nothing but dirt, bro. It's no life right there. But you holding on to stuff, keeping other people away from possibly obtaining it. And then by the time we are in a position to possibly buy that land or that house or whatever, it's already done got trashed. You know what I'm saying? We done saved up money trying to get this stuff. Other people come in and try to destroy it, man. And also in the movie Boys in the Hood, as Furious stated, they drive the property value down so others can come in and buy it for pennies and then try to sell it for 300 to 400% above what they already did. But what's driving the property values down in certain areas? It's too much violence going on in the hoods, man. Just last week, we saw a teenager on the news who just killed a police officer with an AK. Number one, what in the world is a 15, 16-year-old little kid doing with access to an AK? Like, real talk. My generation, man, when we was coming up, growing up on Cooper, you ain't never seen none of us walking down the street with no gun, let alone an AK, man. Shoot, what do? We was out here playing ball all day, all night, whether it was football, basketball, baseball, playing tag, all this stuff. But this generation is so screwed up, man, because it's nothing exciting, so to speak, man, in certain areas. And personally, I really feel that sometimes these state leaders and local leaders know that these areas are messed up bad, but just choose not to go into certain areas and try to fix them up, man. Like, seriously, you don't live here, so you don't care about what we see and how we, have to go about our daily living, man. You got big businesses has left out the hoods, man. All of the big name grocery stores are gone, like Kroger's and Farmer Jack from back in the day. All that stuff is gone, man. You know what I'm saying? But the main focus for Detroit for a long time has been either midtown or downtown. It's cool you want downtown to look good, but man, y'all been working down there like 30 years, bruh. When are y'all gonna venture off past Gratiot and Van Dyke? You know what I'm saying? Really, really come into these neighborhoods, man, and put some life right there. My theory is if people saw some positivity around them, man, it'll change the mindset of a lot of situations that go on in the hood. Like, real talk. All this killing and stuff, to me, is going on because, man, there's no life being developed in these certain areas, man. Like I said, it's good that you want these businesses and everything. But, dude, what are you going to do about the neighborhoods where the people reside, though? We not living downtown. Some people don't live in Midtown, man. But what you going to do about the 6 Mile and Woodward area? The East Warren area, man. The Mack and Van Dyke areas of Detroit that used to prosper, man. What are y'all going to do about that? Like, seriously, you got to give these areas some sense of hope. If you want our school systems to improve, you got to start investing in that stuff, man. Our teachers, to me, are the lowest paid educators in the state, but we are the largest district in Michigan. And to me, it goes further than just downtown area, man. Lansing controls what comes into Detroit. Like, really, Lansing controls that. Lansing controls everything around us, man. But we keep voting in these same idiots that don't mean us no good. You want Detroit to change. Yeah, it's cool to vote for city council, and it's cool to vote for the mayor, and it's cool to vote for city clerk. But dude, what are y'all? Do anybody really pay attention to the state level elections, man? Like the governor's race, all these old senators that's almost 100 years old that's still up in Lansing thinking they doing something. All they are doing is getting rich off our backs. Like, seriously, bro. You look at COVID. People may not agree with everything that Governor Whitmer did, but when she tried to help certain areas, man, those people up there in Lansing tried to kidnap her, threaten her, you know what I'm saying? Was trying to block her on every avenue, man. Like, seriously, try to basically just take everything of power away from her, especially when she was trying to help these certain urban areas. Now, even with gentrification, it still comes, man, on our backs because we're the ones that's getting affected by it. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones that's facing all this stuff. We got high property tax where people can't pay. Our DTE bills are skyrocketing as high as a giraffe right now. You know, they at least I see the water department is working to make things affordable based on your annual income, which is cool because a lot of people need that help. A lot of people need that push, man, because it's like we're robbing Peter to pay Paul, like my grandfather used to always say. It's like you're trying to decipher, okay, am I going to buy groceries? I got to put gas in the car because I got to go to work or I got to take y'all to school. This bill is due DTE almost 500-600. So it's like it put us in a holding pattern, bro, to where it's like a balancing act, man. It really is. It's a balancing act. And it's like when you call and complain to those we're supposed to complain to, we get the deaf ear turned to us. And why? Because they're not the ones facing it. They're not the ones living in the East Warren area. You know what I'm saying? They're not the ones living on Mack and Van Dyke. You know, they're not the ones on 6 Mile and Woodward. But you go out to Palmer Park, it's clean out there, man. Like really, really, it's nice out that way. It's nice in, you know, going to different areas outside of the four walls of Detroit. It's like it hurts me to the core when I'm on Facebook and then I see different stories pop up about the happenings in, you know, in the D. And then all this racism and stuff just start popping up, man. That's another thing that has killed Detroit and any other urban area. Is this racism stuff, man, has always been out there. You know, we were taught that, you know, in school. But it seemed like, and I don't care if Trump got people on here, his followers or whatnot, it's just my personal opinion. When Trump became president, Trump legalized racism. He gave these racists this liquid courage, man. The courage was always there, but for some odd reason, it never really showed his head as much as it is right now. You know, you look at the last 5-6 years, all these police killing, you know, innocent people, man. That's driving down the urban area bad. And then the Justice Department don't make it no better. They don't sentence these guys the way they sentence an ordinary cat. Like, seriously. Police officer go out there and kill somebody, they get a slap on the wrist, 20 years. We go out there and kill somebody, we locked up forever. We trying to figure out how can we appeal it or who gonna put money on our books next month. You know what I'm saying? The whole system is, to me, designed to bring down this area, man. But us in these areas, we got to learn that we do have the power to change the narrative that's around us. We do have the power to change this stuff if we just get off our behinds. And I'm trying to be politically correct and not use some of the words that I really want to use. But we got to get off our behinds, man, and go out to these polls and vote. Because back in the day, when my mother and grandmother used to work on the polls, you heard from these different candidates, man. You saw these candidates walking the beat, like literally. I can remember when Coleman Young was running. He ran one of the first ones that I really can remember was him back in like the late 80s against Tom Barrow. And I also remember him running a few times against John Conyers. You saw Coleman Young out here. You saw what he was capable of doing. You know, he had his platform and he stood on his platform. But it's like the new age people, you don't know what direction they coming from, bro. You don't see them until they need us. They win an election in November. You don't hear from them or see them no more till the next election 4 years later. How do I say that? I'm in District 4. I didn't even know who our council district rep was till this fool got convicted on some criminal joints. I never knew that Andre Spivey was my city council rep over here. I didn't know this until he started getting himself in trouble, that he actually represented District 4. How didn't I know? Because I never saw the cat over here. You know what I'm saying? I never saw him ride up Warren, grass shit, none of these little spots, man. Never saw him in none of these businesses over here. Never saw him in none of the small businesses over here. But you would see these cats when it was time to vote. They were in positions to help the narrative around us, but they played us to the left too. If you really look at it, we put these people in position thinking that they're going to help. But as soon as they walk in that Coleman Young building, it's like, forget everybody else. It's about me stacking my bread now. I don't have to go out and meet with my constituents. But we're still paying these guys $70,000, $80,000 for what? Like, seriously, man. You know, it's ridiculous, man. And then last year, when everything around us flooded, the Detroit Water Board did not take responsibility for none of it, bruh. Nothing. Especially in these areas. In my area, dude, if I wasn't on the phone almost every day, every hour, calling FEMA, ain't no way I would have got some help. Because no one in this area of power was willing to come out and really look at this stuff, man. You had people over here who was really in dire need, bro. Like, for real, for real. You had people that lost everything in their cribs, man. Everything in their homes. But you had certain leaders who were in positions to change things who just refused to come out here. And why am I saying this about the water board, man? Detroit still flood, man. Even after June 25th, we still saw certain areas flooding, man. But you charge us so doggone much money every month. How do y'all not have the money to fix the infrastructure around this piece? Now, I'm a homeowner. I pay DTE and my water bill every month. So when I'm looking at my water bill is only like $5 or $10. But I'm paying the majority of this of my bill for the sewer. But every time something floods, it's backing up into our homes because of the city sewer lines. So if 10% of my bill is actually for the water, the other 90% of that is towards the infrastructure. Why are we still using pipes from almost 100 years ago then, bro? Because I remember when my grandparents back in the day paid their water bill every 3 months, and their water bill never got as high as ours is now, and we paying a bill every single month. I remember when my grandfather would write the check, make sure the money was there so my grandmother could write the check every 3 months for that water bill. And they water bill for over 3 months with my grandfather, my grandma, me and Jamal in the house. That's what 4 people, they bill was about $45, $50 over 3 months. But now, shoot, for a 4-person home, you paying almost $80, $90 a month, maybe $100. If you washing, of course you gotta, wash yourself every day. Then you cooking. And then if you like me, you got to water your lawn, every day to keep it looking nice. Your bill skyrocketing so doggone much, man. It's like you're taxing us overtaxing us, man, to where we can't afford certain things. And when we can't afford certain things, we start losing those things. And when we start losing those things, we have to sit down and come up with a plan to go to an area where we can afford it. And in certain areas in the city, that's exactly what's being done. You know, you're overtaxing homeowners and other individuals to where they can't afford to live in Detroit no more. That's what this gentrification thing is, man. You overtaxing us so doggone much to where we can't afford it. We're not getting any breaks on property tax. We're really not getting any breaks on our utilities every month. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting any type of breaks, but we're out here. It's like it's so crazy, bro. It's so crazy to see how many people have lost their homes over the last 10, 15 years, man. Like literally, either you done lost it or you just walked away from it because you can't maintain it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm reading some of the comments now, and it's like, okay, Chris, you said your father had a gun, but he kept it put up, and only he knew where it was. See, that's how I was with this killing. That's how I was in my home growing up. Yeah, my grandparents had their pieces. You know, and truthfully, me and Jamal knew exactly where the guns were, but we weren't dumb enough to go play with them. Like real talk, we wasn't, going through the house when we was there by ourselves, just playing cops and robbers, or I got granny gun, or I got granddaddy gun. No, it wasn't about that, man. We was taught responsibilities, dude. And most of y'all that know me, with this violence this time of year, it puts me on edge. When I'm, in here and I'm relaxing, man, and I'm hearing all these different gunshots, yeah, it puts me on edge. And why does it put me on edge is I lost my little cousin to the street like that. I lost my best friend, to gun violence, man. 12 years ago. Jamal been gone since August of 2010. Then Anthonye got killed in October of 2010. So losing two key pieces to me to this useless gun violence, man, it puts me on edge every time I hear this stuff or see this stuff on the news. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what can change the narrative around us when it comes to this violence? The people that we vote in office can change this stuff, man. But they're so pig-headed, they're not going to do it. Why? Because they got their money tied into some stuff, man. All these gun laws and stuff that allow 18-year-olds to walk out with an AK. Come on, bro. That's right there is the dumbest thing, man. 16, 17-year-olds out here killing each other every day, and our legislatures are sitting back laughing because it's happening into our neighborhoods every single day. And y'all may think it's crazy, but that movie with Boys in the Hood and that point that Furious said they want us to kill ourselves, that's exactly what's going on. How much black on black violence is it out there every single day? Like seriously, every single day. You seeing innocent people walking home from work getting killed. You seeing innocent people walking home from school getting killed. And nothing is really being done. But we holding vigils though. We doing GoFundMe's though. But we're not putting pressure on the ones that have the ability to change this stuff. Like seriously. And then another thing that's killing the hood right now, man, you got the gas going all the way up. I was riding on the west side. West side gas was cheaper than east side for whatever reason. I still can't figure that out. I'm over there on Finkel. Gas is like, this was last weekend, maybe $4.89. Then when I come back to the east side, I'm like, dang, it's still $5.13. How is it so much cheaper from east to west? Like, if that ain't gouging, man, I don't know what is. See, what kills certain areas, man, is everything that I just mentioned. You got price gouging on gas. You got price gouging on the utilities. And then like Chris just said, you got price gouging on food. Because before COVID, bro, you can go to the Eastern Market, get a whole case of chicken for about $80, $75. You could go get a whole case of chicken wings less than $80. Now you go down there to Eastern Market to grab a case of chicken wings, it's like $130. Cooking oil went from, and I'm talking about the gallon thing, that big industrial size gallon of cooking oil. You used to go to Sam's Club and get that for like $17. Now it's like $45, $50. Everything around us, man, is going up, but our pay is still going down, bro. It's cool to make $20 an hour, but after you done paid taxes and whomever else you may know, you ain't walking home with all the money you think you about to walk home with. Because by the time you done paid to get back and forth to work, half that's gone on gas. Especially if you are working like 20, 30 miles away from home. You know what I'm saying? And like Otis said, yeah, it's a 20 to 60 cent difference from east to west on a lot of this stuff, bro. Like for real. Now, I can't remember this shoe store that's downtown, man. It was nice little shoe store. My little brother talked me into going up in there. So I think it's Nunjo's or whatever the name of that shoe store is that's downtown, bro. We go up in there one Sunday. I'm looking around. I see the Jordans. I see the Air Ones. Now, by me wearing Air Ones, bro, I know how much a pair of crispy all white Air Ones costs. $100, maybe $110 with tax. I go up in there, old dude selling the same shoe I can get at Foot Locker for $100. He taxing them for $275. And I say, bro, don't you know we can get this same shoe right now at Foot Locker? So he started laughing at us, to my, well, I know y'all got that stimulus and that unemployment. That's why I'm charging. So you using your own people to make a come up. No Joes. That's what it is. Thanks, Karan. No Joes. Old dude was basically like, okay, yeah, the people got that bread, so I'm about to overtax. You just put an extra $175 on a pair of shoes I can get for $100, bro. And trust me, that was the very last time I walked up in that joint, man. Why am I about to sit here and give, and just because you black, you thinking that I'm about to be stupid to go here to cash out on a pair of Air Ones for $275 when I know I can walk right out the door and go to Foot Locker and get that same shoe for $100. Come on, man. You doing this to your own people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing this to your own people and you think it's a game. No, man. Just because we had stimulus or the unemployment, that was to help us offset everything else we lost. But you took it, a lot of people, and I'm not just, coming down on no Joes, but it's a lot of stores, a lot of businesses that took advantage of us all because they knew they could get away with it. Like, seriously. You see what I'm saying? Now, another thing, when COVID first hit, look how low gas got. Like, real talk. Look at how low gas got. Man, I had an old Chrysler minivan. $10 would fill that joint up. Maybe $15 when gas had got like 79 cents. And yeah, I drove all the way over there on Hayes is 7 Mile, because that's where it was cheaper. Me and my brothers, let's go gas up while we can. Boom, went and filled up, man, and that gas lasted me I don't know how long. Like, real talk. But now you looking at it because our dependence is on somebody else's things. We getting hit with $5 a gallon for gas. Like, real talk, man. Now, when I first started driving back, well, I ain't gonna say when I first started driving, but my first car that I had bought, gas was 94 cents and down. And that was 2001. So I used to love walking out the house putting $15 in my ride. Now what does $15 do? Have my car coughing before Sunday. Like seriously, if I put $15 in that joint and then I drive from here, you know, make a couple runs, by the time Sunday morning come, my car coughing already. It's time to put some more petrol in it. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing around us, man, it's like it's rigged. It's a number one. It's a money game. This whole thing with gentrification is nothing but a money game, man. A lot of people don't teach other people the ins and outs on buying these houses or buying this vacant land or how to come up legally, how to come up. Why? Because they don't want the next man to know more than them. But I've always been taught if I got knowledge on something, it's my responsibility to share it with my brothers and my sisters, like straight up though. Now, with the house that I bought from the land bank. Now, mind you, I researched this crib maybe 2 years before I actually bought it. And it's not a bad crib. I remember the original owners of this house. And I remember when we used to play ball up and down Cooper, Mr. and Mrs. Beasley used to be sitting on the porch. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, they used to be out here sitting on the porch, you know what I'm saying, watching us play baseball, watching us play football or whatever we was on in the next block doing. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But if I didn't have people that was knowledgeable on what it was going to take to revitalize in this house, I would have been lost. Now, when I had chose to move back on Cooper with my aunt, it was, I weighed every option that was out there. Did I want to rent again? Or did I want to buy a crib? My answer came later than what I wanted it to come. But I did get the answer because when COVID hit, I saw how many people were out of jobs and couldn't get back to them and really was hurting out here, man. So my thing was, I don't want to be out here paying somebody else money, you know, paying rent to stay in their joint. And then I end up losing my job. Now I got to scuffle to pay this person when if I had my own, that money can stay in-house. Like real talk. All I got to do is just maintain my taxes. But if I'm in somebody else's crib, I got to make sure they're paid every single month. Or, hey, I got to get on. So when COVID came and I had that extra bread, hey, I did the smart thing. I bought a crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna go back to the chats in a few minutes. It's like, but I did have the right people that was in my ear. Matter of fact, my best friend, my homeboy Tony, was checking the list, and he had called me like, "Hey, Aunt, that house down the street is back on the auction block." So I checks it out, and I'm like, okay, somebody else had bid 1,000 already on it. So this was on a Saturday. I'm sitting on the porch. I said, I'm about to just go ahead and just take the risk. I'm gonna go ahead and just bid. So I bid the amount that I bid on it. And then Monday, I'm sitting on the same spot and get a call saying that I had won the crib. Now, when we actually walked up in this joint, I wanted to ask them for my money back. Real talk, man. Cause I was like, dude, this about to cost me a grip. But I kept thinking like, dog, the name of the game for Detroit right now is buying up this land. Because I started seeing so many people moving back over here, like on McClellan and the other end of Cooper. And then you got them on Belvedere. I started seeing people snatching up these vacant lots and snatching up these land bank homes, putting that bread into it, getting them looking good again. So on my end, I thought that, hey, I'm about to do the same thing. Number one, if I decided to flip that crib, then I know I can get some equity out of it. Because that's what's going on in Detroit every single day. It's really like supply and demand. I got what you want, so I'm going to tax you for it. Either you going to buy it or you ain't. Flat out. Now, when we was talking about the gas, I'm going back to Otis. He said they purposely took some refineries offline in Texas. Supply and demand. Everyone is pickpocketing us. He's absolutely right. Texas is one of the it's like it's one of the largest oil what I say is an oil state where you see a lot of oil drilling down there. Now, speaking on that and knowing the history of Texas, we can always go back to the Persian Gulf War, and you really can go back to the war that George Bush Jr. started. To be real, it was all about getting their hands on the oil. Because if you notice when 9/11 hit, what was the first thing that went up? Gas. Like, seriously. 9/11 hit, then the next, really wasn't the next day, it was the same night. Gas went from $1.10 to $5-6 a gallon. And the only reason why it went down was because at that time, I can't even remember the governor's name, but she was a lady. She put it out as she found out who was actually price gouging. She was about to fine them a hefty fine. Like, seriously. Jennifer Granholm. That was her name, Jennifer Granholm. She actually put that out. If she caught anybody raising prices like that, they was getting fined. So it's like these people, these businesses from the jump started taking advantage of the everyday worker. Like, real talk. And like Tasha said, I had the right people to talk to. It's like I did. You know, I would kick it with my brothers on every level when it came to really understanding the businesses, because number one, both of them been in the Army. David, my oldest brother David, he done bought a couple houses, so he know the ins and outs of this stuff. And then of course my grandparents. And what was so funny was my grandparents moved on this block like in the 50s, man. So they bought their crib under $10,000. $10,000 back in the 50s, man, was a lot of money. $10,000 right now, that's nothing when you're trying to get a crib, man. And I mean, their total house back then cost a little over $9,000. But because of this gentrification throughout the years, the property value has constantly dropped big time, to where the last time a tax evaluation was done, you could barely ask for $4,000 on a crib down there. Like, real talk, man. It's like, now I get these text messages, and I know a lot of y'all get them too, from these outside companies. Hey, we want to make an offer on your home. See, at first I thought it was just these telemarketers, bro. But as I constantly got them, I said, okay. I text this one chick back. I said, look, if you serious, because I'm getting kind of tired of y'all texting and calling my phone every day, I want $350,000 for it. If you can't meet that, then stop texting my phone. Like, really, stop texting my phone if you just doing it, you know, to be doing it, basically. You know what I'm saying? But you do have these people out here that want to buy up our property, move us out the way, and then flip it for like 200-300% over what they bought it for. Like, real talk, man. That's that gentrification in these neighborhoods, bro. And see, gentrification is not just with the property value. Gentrification comes with, to me, the lack of police presence. And why? If you're the largest African-American city in the state, we should have way more officers on the force than what we do. And our officers deserve to be paid a lot more money than what they're doing. It's sad that I can go to work at Chrysler and make more money working on an assembly line than the police officer do who got to put his life on the line every single day. Like real talk. These officers, some of them are very underpaid. And we wonder why they walk around with an attitude sometimes. If I'm constantly, I'm putting my life on the line 7 days a week. Ain't no telling how much hours they put in every single day. And I'm not bringing home enough money that makes it worthwhile. Man, I'll be upset too a lot of times. Especially when I'm going to the same area, getting the same type of call. Like, seriously. You know what I'm saying? And Karan said, I think he's saying they started tearing down cribs over his way. But see, the city started tearing down these houses a couple years ago over this way, and they're still doing it. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that I will say have been torn down should have never made it to the auction list in the first place, man. Now, that's what I disagree with the city and the city's land bank on. If a house done caught on fire, I mean, it's straight up crispy burnt, why are you trying to sell it for $1,000? You might as well go ahead and push that thing over. It's done with. You know, you think people in this city are so retarded and so stupid that we're just going to buy up any piece of land that there is. No. Like, real talk, man. You know, now I can say from my experiences with the land bank, they have been extremely helpful when it came to a lot of things for me. But I will say this too. Detroit is still slow on getting a whole lot of things done. Shoot, I done paid for the inspector and everything back in January and still haven't gotten one scheduled yet. That's 7 months gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. The city, I'm not going to sit and just criticize everything about the city because some of the things they're doing is cool. Don't get me wrong. It really is. I'm starting to see a lot more of these vacant lots being cut. Shout out to Terry Payne and his crew because they was cutting over in my area this morning. So I'm seeing that done. I'm seeing these parks being utilized more, being cleaned up. Pingree Park right there in the hood, the 4-H right there in the hood. So I will say that Detroit is stepping up in certain areas, but we still have a long way to go. But since the main focus of Detroit's revitalization was really like in two different areas, if the mayor or anybody that's in the mayor's office is on this live or will view it later, can y'all just do me a huge favor and actually ride this city? Like, seriously. Come over on East Warner Cooper. Ride our block, man. You know, see what needs to be done to improve the quality of life in these areas. Like, seriously. All that you riding up Jefferson? Jefferson, bump Jefferson at this point. Like, real talk. Bump Jefferson, man. I'm sick and tired of you putting stuff on Jefferson because then you're neglecting everything else around you. Like, real talk. Now, if you want to go a little deeper with the gentrification, look at the old Packard building, man. That plant been raggedy since I was born, bro. Real talk. And I remember back in 2013, 2014, when that Brazilian dude, Fernando Palazuelo, was all in, talking about what he was going to do. He was going to build it up. The only thing I seen that man do was clean up the part of that skywalk when it fell to the street. No windows, no security. It torched the joint at this point, man, because it's going to cost too much to try to revitalize. Number one, if that building has been vacant all them years, part of it I would blame on the owners of it, and then the other part I blame on the city. Because you should not have waited this long to put some stipulations in place to make a owner clean up their stuff. Like real talk. You drive past there now, man, it's almost like a ghost town at night. You know, all I want the city to do is to start putting some money into the neighborhoods, man. Give these neighborhoods like a shock treatment, so to speak, man. We own life support in certain areas, man. Bring these areas back to life. Like Karan said, Harper and Chalmers area, bro. I'll be over there all the time, man. And I understand what you're talking about over there. Because in that neighborhood, 14, 15 years ago, the Chalmers area over there was still a beautiful spot. Like, really, my other grandmother, Miss Mary Porter, used to live over there off of Chalmers and Kilburn. That used to be a beautiful area over there. Like, real talk, that used to be a beautiful area, man. But throughout the years, it seemed like our city leaders have gotten so complacent on not being held accountable. But now that we have these councils set up in districts, now we know who to go to when it's council district 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many districts it is. You know, all we need is some sense of hope, some type of improvement. And when these neighborhoods start improving, you can almost guarantee some of this violence is going to drop. And why do I say that? Because I look at all the neighboring areas around us, man. Every week when I'm off, mainly on Wednesdays, man, I take a ride out to Metro Parkway and just cruise up Jefferson, man, just to look at the landscape and look at how things are outside of Detroit. And I'm looking at it like I rode up Kercheval all the way to Alter Road. Soon I got to Alter Road, it's like I was in Beirut. Like, dog, man, I went from this back to no life. You know, like, come on, council. Those of y'all who were in position to help change some of this stuff, let's change it for real, man. Give us that narrative, man. Give these neighborhoods some sense of hope, because that's exactly what we needed. That's exactly what we need in these areas, man. We need some sense of pride. You know, give these small businesses a fair chance. You know, another thing that kind of upset me with Detroit and with Chrysler, last year they had this thing going around and they put it, just so happened I saw it. And it's funny, I came home and seen a letter stuck in the bushes. So I grasped the letter and I reasoned, and I'm like, dog, I'm about to fill this out. It was about that Chrysler plant up on Warren and St. Jean to Mac opening back up. So they was giving homeowners in this area a grant. So I done sent in my tax statements. I done sent in my deed. I done sent in my license. Every piece of information they asked me for. Then like 3 to 4 months later, I get this letter telling me that I didn't qualify because I didn't submit something, which the same sheet of paper they said I didn't submit, they had it, because I'm looking dead at it on their site. Then I get another letter that says because I didn't live on Beneteau, they gave it to everybody that was living basically behind the plant. And I thought that was a slap in the face to everybody in that area that actually applied, who could have used that grant, you know, to fix up our homes and do what we had to do, man. But it's like, what I want everybody to do is start holding our city leaders, our state leaders accountable for this stuff, man. If you're tired of this gentrification from coming into the urban area, you got to remember this same thing when it's time to vote. We vote next month on August 2nd. We vote for, I think it's some state offices that's out there, man. And I'm not, the older I get, I'm like, I'm not voting for you just because of your name, you know, because your name don't mean you're actually going to do the work. You know, all real talk. And don't let these politicians play on your, on your minds, man, because that guy, Sri Tanadar, and I hope y'all can go and find this. He came on the radio with this sob story talking about he used to live in his car, this, that, and the third. I'm about sick and tired of all this hopping Bob stuff, bro. Just because you want to vote, you used to be homeless. Dude, that ain't going to make me vote for you. Number one, because I feel like you lying just to get a vote. Like, real talk. Now that you running for re-election or whatever, you used to be broke. You used to be this and that. Speak on what you've done in Lansing and in D.C. That's what I want to know. What does your record really stand for? Have you really been up there helping Detroit benefit from some of this stuff that's going on? Or are you just up there lining up your pockets? So I'm not going to stay on much longer. Last week, we was on for like an hour and a half. It's 8:03. I done worked today, a little tired. But just think on a lot of that, though, man, when it comes to these elections and things like that. Because, yeah, gentrification is real, but we do have the power around us to change this narrative. And in order to change it, we got to get out. We got to go vote. So just remember the election coming up on August 2nd. We have a chance to really change some things, man. And, hey, we can't continue to complain if we're not going to get up and be part of the change. So, look, I'm going to see y'all next week with another edition of Straight Talk. I got some other projects that I'm working on very soon. I've been wanting to roll out my cooking show, Cooking with Ant. That's getting ready to pop up soon. And then some other little projects that I'm working on outside of here. Y'all will be seeing some of the flyers on my page. And also, man, while y'all are, if y'all haven't already done so, I have my media page on YouTube. If y'all can type it up, Thompson Media Productions. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. So each time I post any type of content, y'all will be the first ones to get it. It's like I'm really trying to take a leap of faith on this podcast stuff, man, and really put some things out there, and also promote different small businesses that's out there. Like my homegirl Tasha, she got the Black Diamond Boutique. She gonna be a guest on here in a couple weeks. Then I got my other homegirl, Precious. When I tell you, man, this girl is talented, bro. She do the scented candles. Now I just bought a $5 candle or $15 candle from Walmart and didn't have my house smelling like nothing. But old girl bought me the this candle, man, smelled like baby powder in this joint, literally. She had the whole first floor smelling good in this piece, man. So I'm going to have her on the show in a couple weeks just to help promote other individuals, man. That's anybody that knows me knows I'm going to support you. I'm going to rock with you. The support and the love for me throughout the years, this is nothing but a give back to be able to support and to promote my other people that's out here, man. So I'm gonna have some information on the screen in a couple seconds. If you want to participate and be a guest on the show, if you want to advertise any of your business on the show, you'll have the opportunity to do so. Just shoot me an inbox to my personal one, or you can shoot me a text. Just inbox me and I'll provide my cell number to you. So again, y'all, we're gonna be right back at it next Tuesday, and I got a special program coming up next Saturday. I was going to schedule it for 10. With the way I'm trying to roll this out, I'm going to have to start it at 8 o'clock. But you will see all that information coming up this week. Hey, it's been real. I'm going to see you when I see you. Peace.